Make It Work Introduction. A measuring tape extends, reaching far off screen.
In 1971, the Census Bureau measured the labor force participation rate of people with disabilities for the first time. 3
bees appear, 2 sad and blue, while the third, the worker bee, smiles and carries a briefcase.
They found that only 33%, or 1 out of 3, people with disabilities participated in the labor force. In 2019, after years of hard work and many disability employment efforts, that rate is still around 33%. The numbers are clear. Too little progress has been made for people with disabilities at the workplace. So what's missing? We need efforts designed to counteract low self-confidence and increase the competitive employment skills of people with disabilities.
The worker bee smiles as disability-themed icons encircle it. They turn into envelopes containing letters with red X's of rejection, and the bee frowns.
Having a disability is an experience loaded with negative labels, messages, and discrimination.
The rejection letters pile on top of the worker bee and exclaim that this bee won't be a good worker with a big red X.
Which, on top of being hurtful, too often suggests that disabled people are not good enough, not ready, and ultimately not expected to work.
A queen bee sits behind an office desk and thinks the same negative message while looking at the worker bee.
This becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy that makes it hard for people with disabilities to be taken seriously in the workplace.
She turns down his application, and as the worker bee flies away, he frowns, throws away the briefcase, and begins thinking that these negative messages are true. The Make It Work book falls from the sky and the worker bee begins to read.
WIT has tested these employment empowerment instructional materials, and we have found that they can change this whole dynamic.
The worker bee gets inspired and an exclamation point appears over his head.
In addition to our free self-help guide titled Make It Work, this content is also available in 8 lesson plans for 1 to 2 hour workshops.
2 hours fly by as the hands of a clock complete 2 full rotations. The worker bee teaches Make It Work workshops to an audience of young bees.
These workshops can be integrated into your existing program or used on their own and can be taught either in sequence or individually, depending on your needs. Each workshop session has a short video that outlines each workshop's content, featuring me, the worker bee.
The worker bee flies in a big loop, Make It Work appearing behind him, then zooms away and spirals off into the distance as the WIT logo appears.
Let's better equip and empower ourselves for competitive employment. Let's make it work.